and mon bonjour. Oh, Bonjour Boners. Oh my goodness. Well, it looks like I'm naked on the live here. Naked. She's naked and she's afraid. Naked and afraid on the lives. Hi. Ooh, don't pay no attention to the pay no attention to the outlets, but let's pull up our from the Epstein collection, our cherry dress. Hi, everyone. My name's Jess Wood. Welcome to Get Wood. We're off break, and I'm so excited. Okay, so first of all, if you don't know me, hello. My name is Jess Wood. I am Get Wood comedy. Get it? Yes, double entendre. Good crazy entendres. Hello. My mission is to make you laugh and to have a good times, fun times, weird accents that we don't know where they're from, singing, pop culture, references, news, stories from my life. It's all here and it's all so fun. And I really, really, really hope that you enjoy it. And I'm just so excited to see you. Okay, before I do my theme song, because there is a theme song involved, I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you to everyone who stayed in touch over my 4-week, almost exactly to the day tomorrow, vacation, who checked in, who shared my songs every week. I couldn't stay away from you because I love you so much, and so I recorded a minute out of each song from my theme song. And if you're an audio only listener person, well, hello and thank you, first of all. But also, oh my gosh, you can go and watch on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, or on Instagram, wherever, TikTok, I'm all over the place. You can go and watch me singing a minute of each song from my theme song, which is a mashup of about 4 songs that I absolutely adore. So I want to thank everybody who supported me in doing that, because it is scary to actually sing a song. You can, I mean, I can jab and weave and duck and, all the uppercuts I need, but to actually just sit and be grounded and in your feet and in your body and in your diaphragm and singing. Whew. So Big Minge Energy was the first one, and that was tons of fun, just great fun. And Night of the Living Bassheads was the second week. Shout out to Chuck D. It was his birthday. Since we've been gone. And oh my God, she's all the things. Third week was Barrington Levy, Here I Come, Broader Than Broadway. And fourth and last week was Tenacious D, Dio. Dio has rocked. So, you can go see that. And thank you for all the support. And I wrote down a bunch of names that I wanted to say out loud for my people who were supporting me just real quick before I moved along. Okay, so Shwana, Christy, hello. Dahlia, aka Miss Poles. James, aka Jimmy, Memorial Highway, aka Alex, Cab Aloha, aka Abo, aka Bubs, Ivy, aka Ivana. Why do I know everyone I fucking know is aka? Is everyone a gang member? Has everyone been? Are we all under surnames? Are these not our real names? What's going on? Who are you guys? My parents? That's a true story. My mom's last name was Blucher, as in Frau Blucher from Blazing Saddles. She did not wish to have that Jewish of a name, nor did she want a Jewish nose. So she changed them both and moved to LA, and that's where I was born, so she could be try to be Christian actress. Jesse, I wasn't trying to be Christian. I do love Jesus Christ, though. Mom, I know. It's so funny to me because Jesus, was a Jew, as we've discussed a lot. Look at those tan lines. I'm really practicing not footsing with my hair because as an exercise, and it's really hard, I go back and I watch these shows. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I can't sit and just watch the whole thing. Hello, me. Oh, there you are, me again. Ah. And I can't, it's very challenging. So, but I will watch a bit. And what I watched a bit of recently was my opening because I was like, well, maybe we should change the opening now that we've done the theme song and we've sang all the songs for the song. Does that make sense? So I'm watching all the beginning, and you should see me right now. I'm grasping my legs with my hands because I don't want my hands to go through my hair. I cracked myself up. Okay. I noticed that in every show, before I started the show, I would put my hand, and I'd really take a self-conscious look at myself and futz with my hair. And I don't want to do that. And I do need to pull up my dress because or else the tatas will be out, and that's a different show. Not my show, but I'm sure you can find plenty of tatas out there. But mine is like more of like a Cleveland, Ohio, come for the Cleveland, stay for the jokes, kind of like I don't know. What's the Family Guy? Do you go for Cleveland and stay for the jokes? So I obviously am not doing the theme song because we're in 7 minutes now. 7 minutes? We missed our 6-minute mark, Dougie Fresh. We're on. Gen X. I don't know why it was gut. So what happened in July? So many things. The last time we saw each other was July 4th. That holiday, excuse me. A lady gets a nose itch. The holiday that we all so did not, well, I was raised, that holiday was always bad in my house. My mom was never a July 4th. My mom was very anti-America for all the right reasons. Oh, Jesse, it's a racist, homophobic, violence towards women, masochistic. She would list it to me and I'd be like, I'm 5. And but it does make an impression on a young child. Also, I was not, as a lot of you know, I was not allowed to do the Pledge of Allegiance at school, which, as we know, is a fucking lie and a half. So that's great too. So July 4th was the last time you and I spoke, and I did record a show that day, and it is called Red, White, and Screwed. And I hope that you got to see it. So since then, what's been happening? Well, a lot of shit. And I just want to say first and foremost, I turned myself up to 11 to perform and to come here. And I turned myself up. This one goes to 11. And I really am honoring the fact of the harshness right now. I want to honor everyone in the feels of watching genocide on television, a fascist running the country, the sex trafficking situation. Like, it's just so much. Anyone with benefits like myself, just nervous that they're going to take them away. The frustrating, hateful, the energy is just so harsh right now and it's so heavy. And I just wanted to take a moment before the 10-minute mark and say that I want to honor that and you all. I mean, I don't like it and I wish it weren't happening, any of this stuff, but I feel like I'm lopsided. But what I really would love to do is just let you know that I'm not on this just because I'm turned up to 11 and wanting to tell you all my news and excited to see you all and excited to talk to you again, I don't want you to think that I haven't been also really processing so much of and all this, right? I understand, and I'm a survivor of sex trafficking, so and all the stuff coming up and all the jokes that I make and everything, it's to get through it. I mean, like Richard Pryor, George Carlin, Lenny Bruce, these guys, Joan Rivers, these folks, Roseanne Barr, these folks, before she went pistachio, they really tapped into their own traumas and their own, as my people would say, mishigas, and found the pieces of it that were just human and relatable. And I think that we uh, feel so alone so much of the time. And I want you to know I'm here for you. And I'm not just here for you like da 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 da, I just want you to know. So that was just like a very special moment within the Get Wood universe that I just wanted to tap in and say, I understand. And I'm sending you so much love and so much, I don't know, quiet, because it seems like it's just so loud, all the time. And so I hope that you find some joy and some quiet and some silliness in this little time that we have together. I'm so glad we had this time together. Carol Burnett, Gen Xers, anybody, everybody, how you doing? And also, listen, Gen X, it's very, very hard to admit that you might be struggling, that you might need help, because we never were given help as kids, right? And not that you want to carry that fucking story with you the whole time and all the time and be like, oh, I never got any help, so I can't be feeling good. But it is a fact. And when the facts are the facts, not like Fox, we gotta go with it. So give yourselves a break. I hope you're being a little easier on yourself, kind to yourself, and giving yourself what you need. But I don't know, maybe it's a scoop of ice cream, or maybe it's a walk, or maybe it's a nice bubble bath, or maybe it's just to chill on the couch and watch your favorite show or TV movie of the week. Dynasty, Falcon Crest. So speaking of Gen Xers and speaking of taking care of ourselves and speaking ofs, I wanted to say a big rest in peace to a lot of the people that we lost while I was gone. I want to say rest in peace, obviously, to Ozzy. I mean, Prince of Darkness. I don't know. He was so lovely, Sharon. The first reality show, just such a lover. And I do know people who've known him and they've told me stories about him, and just, oh my goodness, what a sweetheart. And for me, just a real, he was so helpful in getting out a lot of my anger and my shit, and like being able to just scream in the streets like we could do because we were in the streets all the time, us Gen Xers. My friend and I, who unfortunately were sex trafficked by her grandma, we used to have this little cassette tape, and we had the Ozzy tape in it, and we'd go and crank people in their apartment buildings, and we'd, in like expensive neighborhoods, because that's where we had to go and trick. And I know, it's so cute. And we would buzz people, and they'd be like, hello, and then we'd put on Ozzy, I get it. So he has a special place in my heart, as I hope you all do have a special place in your heart for him or for myself. I just hope that music gets you out of some of the places that we can get stuck, just go dance in the kitchen. I missed you so much. So also, Chuck Mangione, right? Isn't that isn't that him? I think that's him. So because this show is very well researched, I hope that when King of the Hill comes back, hopefully they'll do a little shout out to him, because you know how I feel like he was in one of their episodes. Chuck Mangione. I was never a fan of Hulk Hogan. I never felt a need for the wrestling thing in my life. Maybe because I was really in the streets, and there were people actually fighting in front of me, and there's a lot of fighting in real life happening, like at my house outside when I hung out with friends. And so I don't know. I'm never into the wrestling. No judgment, but judgment on him. Fuck that guy. He was a big racist. So also Connie Francis, Who's Sorry Now? That was a Cholo favorite. Can I just tell you? When I hung out with the Cholos, most of the oldies that I know in my repertoire is because of the Cholos, because the gang members that I hung out with who would listen to oldies like it was their music, and it was quite some decades before us. How Who's Sorry Now? And then being on, PCP, having that song play. There's really nothing like it. I've had quite a filmatic life, I will say that. Tom Lehrer, Lair, cut into layers. Tom Lehrer was a 97-year-old, died, and he was a satirist, comedy music guy. So like before Weird Al, Tom Lehrer. Weird Al, shout out to him just for being so funny and smart. But Tom too, he had songs called like uh Meet Me in the Park and We'll Poison the Pigeons. Like it was very dark stuff, but hilarious. The political against the government, stuff that we like. Who else? I guess that. Oh, and I saved the best for last because the guy. Well, no, the two left, and they're both actors. One of them I knew, and one of them I didn't. And the one I did not know, but I felt like I knew because he was in everything growing up, was Michael Madsen. And Michael Madsen. It was sad at the end, but man, before when he was, all I thought of was Reservoir Dogs when I thought of Michael Madsen. Did you think of any other movie for him? I have a lot of shoulder movements today in my screen time, shoulder movements, shimmy shimmy screen time. And Michael Madsen, he cut off the guy's ear in Reservoir Dogs, and that's all I can remember from him. I think he was in a couple other really cool movies, but what's your favorite Michael Madsen movie? Also, a friend of mine for decades, Rob Shapiro. Shout out to Rob Shapiro. Rest in power, rest in peace, rest in performance, because he was a mad performer, yo. I met him in Lower East Side in New York City in a theater called Surf Reality. I had been doing heroin and didn't have anywhere to live in New York City at this time. It was the 1990s, and I was waitressing at the Comic Strip Live. It was before I started doing comedy or any performing. And his twin brother, Rob's twin brother, Rick, was working there as a comedian at the strip. And he saw me and he started like doing funny voices at me. So I just started doing funny voices at him because I always did funny voices. And really, the Cholos, sometimes they loved it and sometimes they hated it. Like sometimes they were like, "You sound fucking exactly like us. Shut up. You sound so stupid." And then sometimes it'd be like, "God, lower your voice, girl. You're fucking being a fucking, you're looking lame. You're being a lame, eh?" And I'd be like, "Okay." But I did their voices a lot. So I would do them back to Rick. And Rob was a performance person, and he was Rick's twin. Rick invited me down to do one man show of his. He goes, "I want you to be in my one man show." And I was like, "Look, I'm not that high on heroin. I know a one man show is one man." And he said, "No, I'm casting all the voices in my head, and I want you to be all the voices of the women." And so I was like, "How could I turn this down?" Plus, he helped me get sobriety in my life. And I have to tell you, and I've told you before, but I'll tell you again, the laugh that I got when I was in his show and I had to write a joke and I went out to perform the joke on his show, the audience's laugh, the way that it felt, way better than the heron. Isn't that crazy? I know. Comedy saved my life. Comedy saved my life. No joke. Anyway, so Rob Shapiro, big shout out to Rob. And New York is definitely going to be quieter without Rob around. He was a wonderful, bigger than life, literally and figuratively, man. So shout out to him. Shout out to the Grateful Dead and their fucking 60th anniversary this weekend. I mean, what? Yeah. And people up in San Francisco at the Golden Gate Bridge and people getting to see them. And it's not really the same band, but thinking of them, the Empire State Building the Empire State Building was tie-dyed last night. New York City, giving a little nod to the dead. Love it. Because you know why? What a long, strange trip it's been. But long. It's true, though. So I know you've been looking at me this whole time and you've been thinking to yourself, did Jessica Wood get a haircut while she was gone? And you would be correct, my friends. You would be correct. I did. And I used, again, I go to the neighborhood shops and I really utilize the neighborhood shops and everything I can buy locally, I do. And I was influenced. I'm not gonna lie to you. I never lie. I'm not gonna start now. I haven't lied yet, and I ain't gonna start. I gotta tell you, I was fucking influenced. I know, by this goddamn TikTok chick. TikTok. I was influenced by these girls who kept going to a hair salon in Chinatown and doing videos about I'm obsessed. They would like I get my blowout for whatever and from John on Pell Street and I'm obsessed. And I thought at first I was like, shh, quiet with the obsession. But then I thought, well, wait a second. There's a cheap John guy somewhere on Pell Street, and Pell Street is like a stone's throw from where I preside. And so I thought, well, let me go check out Pell Street. 22 Pell to be exact. If you like the address, if you're enjoying what you see on the screen with this hairdo. And if you just listen in audio, I will tell you, I went in and I asked the guy that I got, who had a little bit of a cool, kind of punky, spiky haircut himself. I said to him, could you give me a wolf cut? And if you guys remember, I mean, I don't know, it's wolf cut, shag, bob, messy bob, whatever the fuck you want to call it, it don't matter. It's just a lot of layers. It's a lot of layers. And the man looked at me and he said, that's a lot of layers. And I was like, yeah, it's a lot of layers. And so he went to town. This place was like a factory. Can I just explain to you about 22 Pell for a second if you'd like to go, which I recommend it highly. I'm obsessed with John. I don't remember if his name was John, but I do have a card somewhere. Anyway, it was like a factory. No lie. I'm not lying. The way that they got you in, the way that they shampooed your hair. Well, first of all, they shampooed it like 3 times. Like, motherfucker, get in there, get that shit out of that. Well, I don't know what's in there, what you found in there. Get it out. I approve this message. Scrubbing and jumping, freaking get it out of there. So they wash your hair, then they wrap you in a, like a paper towel, and then you sit out amongst the people waiting again. So there's the people waiting to get everything done. Then there's the people who've just been washed and sitting there with the fucking head in the towel. And you're like, and you got the cape on, you got the plastic cape, you got the paper head on the towel, and you're sitting there, and everyone's on their phone. And then you get picked by someone, and they take you to one of the many, many, many chairs that are set up on both sides of the aisle of this salon. There have to be about 22 chairs. I mean, it was so crowded, and everyone's like right nearby each other. But they have these little sheets up next to clear sheet. Anyway, we did a lot of layers, and there were girls on either side of me getting blowouts and being like done, and then I was still getting layered up, and I was like, yeah, buddy. And I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it a lot. I had to really talk myself down because there is a picture of me when I was about 12, maybe not 12, maybe 10, and I have a similar haircut, but boy, I look like a handsome young gentleman, I'll tell you what. A handsome young man. I was a very handsome young boy. I was a girl, but I looked like a little boy. Anyway, we are hard on ourselves, aren't we? And I'm here to hopefully lighten that up for you, because that's what this is about. Get wood? What? It's about lightening up. You hear me tell stories about myself that are maybe a little bit hard or maybe a little bit traumatic in some ways. And the fact that I'm able to feel the feelings around them, to sit with the harder stuff, to write things out, and to come on here and to hopefully make it a lighter story for you and me, so that we can all, just come out the other side and feel a little bit less weighed down. I'd like to use my last few minutes here to talk to you about a woman that I've been taking a class with. I did a seminar with her this week. Her name is Chantal Adams, and she goes by Chantal Speaks in the Instagram and things of that socials. She's Canadian. She is magical. She's magical. I'm just going to say it. It's how I feel, and it's what it is. She is a story guru, I want to say. I know that sounds weird to call someone a guru, but I feel like she's got this extra sense, this sensory gift, where she can take someone's story, channel it through her spirit guides. I don't know how it happens. And what comes out the other side is this unbelievably concise, beautifully layered, like the hair, story that gives not only your message that you're trying to put across, but your vulnerabilities, your own story, where you are now, how you want to help. It absolutely blew my mind, and I'm not stopping hanging out with her. I'm going back again on Monday. She's doing a Q&A for all the people that were there last week, and I'm just so thrilled to have, air quotes, stumbled. I don't think so. I know that things are meant to be that happen, and all we can do is learn, and I'm thrilled to keep learning. And you know what else I'm thrilled about? Being back here with you. Yeah, I know. And if you came across this on YouTube, why don't you go ahead and subscribe and like? And if you already are subscribed to me on YouTube, why not go ahead and share it with your friends? If you wanna, you can send me a message all the time. You can always send me a message. You can DM me on Instagram. You can send a message here. You can leave a comment. You can rate the show 5 stars on any of the podcast platforms that I'm on. You can Venmo me at Jess-Wood-10. You can just all the things I welcome you to do. And most of all, you can know that you are not alone. And you can look to me to be your friend and to comfort you when you're down, and that you know that you do the same for me just by being here. Just by being here, I feel fantastic. Even though, my ego gets the best of me sometimes when I look and there's zero watching and there's zero, but how would anyone know that I was here? It's a Saturday I did this at 3:07 p.m. How would anyone know? I've never done it this time, this day, ever. That's why I keep on, keeping on. And here's why I'm doing it on a Saturday, Monday through Friday now. No more emo guitar guy. Blessings. But you know what's taken over for him? It's a drilling. There's a construction. Yeah. So that's happening now. And you know what I say? I say, universe, thanks for the lesson, man. I get it. All right? I get it. I got to ease the fuck up because I got no control. I got no control over the drills. I got no control over the emo guitar guy. What I have control over is how I react to the world around me. Poof. If you made it this far, you're such a sweetum lover, and you deserve to feel the best about yourself that you feel, and I hope you feel it now. Because if you're not fucking yourself over and you're not fucking anybody else over and you're doing a great job, whatever you're doing, if it's not hurting you or anybody else, I think you're killing it. So keep on keeping on. I love you so much for watching. I love you so much for listening. Pull up your dress. Woman's, man's, thems, theys, those, witches, warlocks, all I love, all y'all. Animals, trees, the water, and the breeze. I love you so much. I'll see you next week. What? Yes, I'm back, babies. Love you.